If you are in a great place right now, financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, if you are, that's very good. But be mindful of what you're requesting from God. You know, He's always going to give us more, but don't position yourself to not be grateful because we enter into His gates with thanksgiving. I can't be thankful and ungrateful at the same time. You know, I can't be, patient and, waiting on God and being appreciative and being greedy at the same time. You know, sometimes we're not aware that we're becoming greedy. You know, greedy with food, greedy with people, greedy with money, greedy with purpose. Got to be careful with that. Greedy with space, greedy with opportunities. You know, God really want us, especially when we are where we weren't before and we can tell that we are in a great place. This is so good. With God, there's always going to be a great place. But if you feel like you just received your increase in different areas and you feel like, okay, I'm not where I was even days ago, be grateful for that. Because God's going to begin to start showing you, having you to be aware of people who aren't where you currently are. Just to remind you how to be grateful and thankful again. Because that waters a seed, in the ground to produce a harvest for you again. If there is no water, then it cannot produce a harvest for you. And how we release what God wants to do is if we have a harvest. And what causes us not to have one is if there's no praise put on the seed to water it. Being thankful is a form of praise. Being grateful is a form of praise. Being appreciative is a form of praise without complaining and being ungrateful. There are so many people who would love to be where we are. There are so many people who are fasting and praying just to have half of what you understand, have right now. Just people alone are very much appreciative for many of us to look and say, for what? You look like you don't have or can do anything. You're begging God for food. You're begging God for shoes. And I have so many of them. So learn how to count your blessings. I don't mean that literally, too many of them. I mean by being grateful and giving God praise, giving glory and honor unto Him. If He's increasing you, be grateful for that. Don't be found greedy because we shouldn't overindulge in anything. We shouldn't be gluttony regarding anything as well. So, to God be the glory with this message.